Hello and welcome to another tutorial for USOR Games. Today we're going to be talking about our chat room features, and you'll notice here that we have already logged into both the main website and to our chat room, and we have a split screen format here. On the left hand side is the chat room, on the right hand side are the character sheets. We're not going to be going over the character sheets today. If you have questions on those, we have plenty of tutorials on those. I encourage you to check them out. We're going to be focusing on the chat room today. Now, this split screen setup is merely an option. If you'd like to see the chat room as the full screen, you can go ahead and go to this website right here, and you can see that we have the chat room spread out across the entire screen. This is great if you have a dual monitor setting, but if you don't, I would encourage you stick to the classic setting here with the split screen, and that's what we're going to be using for this tutorial. I want to point out that we do have some default channels here. These will appear for every user. So what we have is at the top here we have magic items, supplemental bestiary. That's for the game master. These include PDF downloads for them to get material to play the game, to run their adventures. So that's for the game masters. We'll talk about that in another session. The announced lobby, which we'll cover partially here, is a great way to talk to the entire gaming community. This is our general chat channel for everybody to communicate to each other. And then the tutorial channel has how to register, how to log in, how to use the different features of the game. Some of this stuff has been talked about in other tutorials and will be talked about in this tutorial, so I encourage you to check this channel out and see how all that stuff works. And then you can contact us on this channel here. This shows our email address. I encourage you to contact us. Our various different multimedia formats. We have YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. We're available on all those different medias. So I encourage you to reach out to us and tell us how we're doing. Let's get to the actual channels that users create. So we have two basic types of channels. There are public channels and private channels, which users can create. We recommend you never create a public channel because that's an open forum essentially for anybody to, just anybody who's registered with the system to enter or to leave your channel freely without your control. So we really don't recommend that. But if you want to do it, the option is there. And then there's the private channel option, which is what we encourage, which only lets members, I should say, onto the channel who you've already previously invited, and we'll show you how to do that. That's a great way to have your self-contained gaming group meet on a regular basis and do your gaming sessions. So first of all, let's go over the public settings. So if we want to create a channel, public or private, we hit the plus button, and then let's enter a name. Call it Test Game 1. You'll notice I'm using all lowercase here and no spaces. For now, the way we have the system set up, we would encourage you to use only lowercase letters and no spaces. If you use spaces or uppercase letters, it might cause some problems with the system. We're working on trying to resolve that, but for now, let's just keep everything simple and keep everything lowercase and no spaces. And then we have some options here. The private setting is defaulted as off. Like I said, we recommend you do the private setting, but right now we're showing you the public. So for a public channel, you want to keep this offset. And then read-only channel, we recommend you never set this one on. You feel free, of course, to do it if you want, but if you turn the read-only channel on, it only lets users see the channel and not really interact that much with it. So it cuts off a lot of the features available to players. So we recommend you leave this setting off. So let's go ahead and create our new channel. We call it Test Game 1, and you'll see it has a little number sign by it. Number sign means public. So when users log in, they will only see the default channels. So eventually there's going to be probably a lot of public channels listed here. So if you can't see your public channel that you created on here, if a user can't see it, they can click on More Channels and then go ahead and search, and the search button should go ahead and find it. So let's start typing in test. And as you can see, we only had to type in the first few letters, and we found our test game channel. We can click on that and then interact in it accordingly. So let's go ahead and talk about how to make a private channel. Now, like I said, this is great for gaming groups that already know each other. or if you want to get to know new groups of gamers and add them into your channels. That's a great way to do that as well. So we're going to go ahead and go over that right now. So to create the private channel, you do the same thing here. Hit the plus button. Let's call this one Test Game 2. Now we want to make it private, so we select this button, and that means that only people who are in the list of the users for this channel will be able to see it and be able to access it. And we want to keep the read-only channel off. You can select initial users if you want. We're just going to go ahead and create it right now, and we'll add some users later. So let's hit the create button. Okay, so you can see it has a little lock symbol on it. So that's our private channel that only users we designate can go in there. And like I said, any player can go ahead and do this. So this is a basic feature for everybody who's involved in the system, everybody who's registered. So let's go ahead and add some people to our private channel. Let's go over here and click on this icon here. We're going to add users. So let's go ahead and we'll add our admin just for fun. And it says user admin has been added by Boston Bean. So user admin is now part of the system. Now one user you always want to add is the USOR user, which is that is our dice roller and our action time calendar. Those are different features that you'll need to go ahead and play the game. So we highly encourage you to always add the USOR system into your members list. And we'll get into some of those features, what that does in another tutorial. But for now, just make sure that you add that in. Now, right now, you're just seeing Boston Bean. You're not seeing the other users. So in order to see the other users, you have to click Show All. So you can see the ones we just added. We added USOR in, which I said you should add into every single one of your channels. And then admin. So whenever admin logs in, they'll see this private channel, and admin can go in and go out. But you see on this list, we have Boston Bean ourselves, USOR, and admin. These are the only 3 members that can enter or leave this channel, right? So this is not a public channel, it's private, and it keeps it completely secure so that only these 3 people can communicate with each other within this channel. So that's how you create the private and public channels. And in another video, we're going to go over the features of USOR, and we're going to go over how to join the video lobby. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And until then, happy gaming.